Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today, we're just going to be reading some Berserk. I recently read the first 3 volumes of Berserk. I bought, here, give me a bought the collector's edition. So this has the first 3 volumes, and I read it, and I am fascinated. And I wanted to kind of take you guys on a journey with me. So I have pulled up on my thing, I have the first chapter of Berserk, and I was wanting to go back and reread the first 3 volumes, and then after that, it'll be a completely blind reaction. So we're going to go through, we're going to review and discuss the first 3 volumes of Berserk, and then we're going to have fun with it. We're going to go on a journey together. So let's get comfy. This will be nice and fun. Let's see. It does not look like. One sec. Be nice so I can see what's going on. There we go. Let me see. Difficult. I'm pretty new at this. I'm having a hard time telling. Where. See my stream information. Or online. So it looks like I am streaming. New at this. I'm having a hard time telling. There we go. How does this work? See my stream information. Or online. Hello, hello. So it looks like I am streaming. New at this. I'm having a hard time telling. Okay, there we go. A hard time telling. There we go. How does this work? See my stream information. Or online. Okay, cool. Hello, hello. So it looks like I am streaming. New at this. I'm having a hard time telling. Okay, there we go. A hard time telling. Repeating. There we go. How does this work? See my stream information. Really hope not. Or online. Okay, cool. Oh boy, sorry guys. Okay. We're going to pull this open. I think this should be working better. Oh, hello? Okay. We're going to pull this open. I think this should be working better. Oh, that's why hello? I was... okay, never mind. Bad. It was also repeating what's going on. Okay, okay. We're good. Cool. So, we're going to be reading through this, discussing it, and having a good time. So, feel free to chat. Want lots of discussion. We can get more people online. And good time. So yeah, we have have pulled up on here. Here we go. I had pulled up on here. I skipped the first couple pages. If you've read the first chapter of Berserk, you know why. So yeah, we're gonna start about here. Um, yeah, I found very interesting while reading this because I had heard a lot about Berserk. Heard a lot about it through other YouTubers talking about it. Friends who have read it. My brother's read it. He's a bit about it, and everyone I've heard talk about it always talks about how it does an amazing job at portraying like depression issues. And I was not expecting it to take the turn that it obviously when I would see Guts, I've seen the character before. You know, everybody knows the Guts sword, everybody knows the Black Knight, all that stuff. But I always imagined him being kind of emotionally distant because that seems to be a lot of the theme that's present in. But I didn't expect him to be as distant as for him to make some of the actions that he makes. I found it very fascinating and very tragic. He is a very tragic character. And at the end of the third volume, where we leave off is the beginning of his backstory. And so I haven't even seen what made him the way he is. Obviously, I can piece together little bits here and there based off of what happens later on. But yeah, I think that's going to be like my main focus with this. I want to focus on the kind of analyzing the character, analyzing why he might be taking the actions that he does. So, yeah, and if we'll have any comments or anything, I would love to hear from you guys. Real quick, I'm going to try to see if I can get popped up on. There we go. That's kind of what I wanted. Oh, no, it's really not. Still can't see how many people are online. Try this again. Get pulled. At um. Okay. Why does it say no current life? This is odd. And it just disconnected. Successful. Okay. All right. Still trying to figure this out. See how many people are online. Don't know why it's not showing anything on here. Get started, start streaming on your streaming software. Well, I'm using the streaming software. I don't know why it's not showing any live streams. Ooh, wait a second, wait a second. I might know why. Nope, that would be why, wouldn't it? Okay. Cool, that works. That works for me. I'm going to go back in here then. Why is it streaming there? Count. Go. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. I was on the wrong account. Okay. There we go. That's what we wanted. My bad. I was logged into the wrong thing. That doesn't need to be nearly as big as it is. It can be a lot smaller. Where can I put you? And get rid of this. Here, I don't want you. Get rid of this. Okay, that works. Cool. Yeah, we're going to go through. This is your last taste of heaven before I send you to hell. And Guts says, the only one trapped is simplistic art style. It's like very simplistic. And then you'd get some crazy things. Crazy shots with so much detail. Like you get this, the people are very simplistic. You obviously have the castle, you have Guts. You can see Guts here with this big sword. And everything is very simplistic. You have minimal shading. There's like one, no, there's two. There's two different colors of shading. And then you have like Guts. But then like later on you get some crazy scenes. I feel like this also did a very good job of conveying the kind of setting. You have Guts walking into this town, very medieval, very like you see a knight, you see a beggar on the street, you see just the kind of city you're in with all the people. It's a very big city that he finds himself in. And then a cart full of children, it appears, which catches his attention, which immediately when I first read this, I assumed he was a good guy. Which, I mean, up for debate, right? I assumed he was a very virtuous character, I should say. And then as you continue on, you walk into this bar, and you have these random guys, ruffians. We don't really know who they are, but we're not meant to like them. As we enter this setting, they are attacking this elf, which I would call it a fairy, but in this story they're referred to as elves. And they're throwing darts at him. Damn, oh, you missed. Stop squirming around. How am I supposed to hit you? Taunting the elf, throwing things at it and belittling it. No pun intended, for lack of a better word, I guess. And then you have other people in this town who are saying, I feel sorry for that elf, but there's nothing we can do about it. Not even the Lord Mayor can lay a hand on the men of Coca Castle. Best not to get involved. And you have the men continuing their shenanigans. Again, you see kind of a virtuous side of Guts. He walks up to the barman, the tavern owner, says, "I'm going to mess up your shop a little bit," gives him a little bit of gold, and then pulls out a crossbow, and we immediately know what's going to go down. And at this point, I was assuming that he's doing this because of the children, was my initial thoughts. I went into this really wanting to root for Guts. And he pulls out his crossbow and is going to like kind of give them what for. You know what I mean? You have the elf taunting the men. "I'm going to stuff those words right back down your throat. Now stop wiggling," as he gets ready to throw another knife, and then just instant death. This won't get taken down. I mean, I skipped a lot of the raunchy stuff in the beginning, but yeah, it's just drawings. But yeah, you have this guy just die immediately. And at that point, I kind of knew what kind of story it was going to be. Very dark. I mean, I was expecting that. But he gets very crazy with it. And he just continues to lay waste to everyone here. And again, I was assuming he was doing this for justice, for trying to get the elf safe, trying to kind of fight back for the kids that he saw in a cart that I was assuming were being sold away. And he just kind of leaves everyone dumbfounded. So he's here, the last man standing. All the other men were throwing knives at the elf and everything just got killed right away. And then you have a last man who Guts shoots him through the nose and starts basically interrogating. "You're one of the thugs from Coca Castle, aren't you? Answer me." "All right then, I suppose you can deliver a message to your boss for me?" "What message?" "The Black Swordsman has come. That's all." And again, I assumed the Black Swordsman would be a symbol of hope for a lot of the townspeople. I assumed he was like for any just cause. So he kills all of the enemies, all the men of Coca Castle. And you see his sword for the first time. He killed all these guys without swinging a sword, and then for the first time, there's a man coming up behind him, tries to sneak up on him, and then with one hand pulls out his sword, and in one fell swoop cuts him in half. Dude, Guts is so cool. Guts is so cool. So you have all this going down. It was much too big to be called a sword. Massive, thick, heavy, and far too rough. Indeed, it was like a heap of raw iron. And then he says, "I'm counting on you," referring to the guy he told to send a message. And then he just leaves the little elf guy. And the elf guy comes up and starts berating him, being like, "Hey, if you're going to save someone, you should save them right." And I, at first, was kind of against the elf on that point. I was like, dude, you got saved. Why are you judging him on how he saved you? That didn't make any sense to me. And then, we learn more about Guts and some of the crazy stuff he does. And then you realize, yeah, no, he didn't think he saved him. He didn't leave because he thought he was safe. He left because he really didn't care. Or at least pretended not to care. Which is wild to me. So you have Puck, our new little fairy elf friend, following Guts through the town as Guts is off to do whatever he's doing. Obviously, he started a fight in the tavern, so the guards are going to come after him. and he doesn't really care, which is a pretty good way of summing up a lot of what happens in early Berserk. In these first couple chapters, a lot of what happens is just he really doesn't care. And that is the perception we're supposed to have. We're supposed to see Guts, see his reaction to a lot of these things, and it's just he really doesn't care. And then as we get through his character, it is very much, oh, he isn't letting himself care. He isn't letting himself have these feelings, which I'll get into later when we meet some of the other characters and some of the stuff they go through. I find it very fascinating, the dichotomy they have, how they're supposed to be represented as so different, and yet they are so similar in their ways they carry themselves. So yeah, Puck introduces himself or themselves. I don't. Do we ever find out if Puck's a dude or a chick? I never know. The town was also attacked by a number of times, but the Lord Mayor made a deal with the thugs. In exchange for tribute, they promised that they'd leave the town free and there'd be no more raids. But after this, I guess they'll start attacking again. So yeah, we learn Guts antagonizing those men and attacking them is going to be a problem. You know, if I were you, I'd get out of town fast. I mean, if they catch you, they'll cut you into pieces. And it's not just the thugs either. Now that the Lord Mayor has a pact with them, even the town's guards will. And then Guts kind of flicks him off his shoulder. That hurt? What'd you do that for? And Guts says, don't touch me. I'll squash you. And this is kind of the first time we see Guts as very distant, you know, pushing everything away from him and everyone away from him. And in the beginning, it's read as very prideful. He won't dirty himself with other people. And the elf gets very upset about it. All the guards show up, and the elf is just, see, I told you so. The elf runs away, and Guts gets trapped in the castle and tortured. You're a stubborn bastard, you know that? Ain't you even gonna make a little noise? He spits blood at him. So I'm assuming he's just like they're torturing him, expecting him to scream, expecting him to confess whatever, and he just hasn't even let out a yelp, which is making the torturer, I'm gonna call him, upset. And then we see this guy, who's the mayor, comes in. That's enough for now. My lord, that stockpile of weapons, it belongs to this man? Yes, Lord Mayor, enough weapons to start his own war, crazy bastard. Are you a mercenary? A complete stranger to these parts, you've done a terrible thing. Do you have any idea what you've done? Because you murdered those men, this town may very well be destroyed. Are you telling me those guards standing there are scarecrows? So he starts taunting the town. That's crazy. Starts taunting the town, taunting the mayor, and starts taunting the guards, saying they're useless. You have these thugs basically taking over the town and taunting them for not being able to do anything. You have no idea how horrible he is, the ruler of those men. Very cool design. I love the design of this guy. That thing is beyond human. Something horrible and incomprehensible. A creature from the very depths of the pit. No one can kill him. At least not anyone human. I see. So that's why you made your dirty deal with them. How could you understand a wandering virgin like yourself? I understand. I know all about it. How he's a monster that eats flesh. I know it very well. And I know that you continue to provide him with his meals. I passed them at the gates of the city, a wagon full of women and children. I am the mayor. It is my duty to protect this town. Protect this town? Don't you mean to protect yourself? And the mayor has a little, oh, how dare you? How dare you say such things? And he's very dramatic about it. Ridiculous. Do it. Torture him as much as you like, I don't care. But don't kill him. We'll have to hand him over to Koka's castle alive. And yeah, he continues torturing him. Very cool. Prepare my carriage immediately. I best go to Koka Castle myself and beg for forgiveness. And then we cut to Koka Castle. Black swordsman, you say? Yes, Baron. His sword was so big it towered over him, and he split Dean in half with one stroke. He dressed all in black and had a false arm made of iron. A real shady-looking guy. Could it be? My lord, what is it? That wretch the mayor is waiting at the castle gate. He requests an audience with you about the recent incident. I see. It's been a while, Mayor. How good of you to come. Your lordship, I have come to ask for your forgiveness for this recent transgression. This was the act of a virgin who's unfamiliar with our ways. There's no connection to any of the townsfolk. I'll give you double the amount of prisoners and gold from now on, so please. You look troubled. Unlike before, you're now worried about losing your own life, aren't you? Aren't you, Mayor? Throws the fork in it. Oh no, he flicks the fork. He flicks the fork with his finger and throws a human ear at the mayor. Gold, prisoners, I don't care about such things. All I wish to see are humans within a fiery apocalypse trying to escape. All I wish to hear is the sound of snapping bones crushed under the hooves of... I don't even need an excuse. None at all. And so, it's kind of a weird thing for me. I found it interesting that the mayor would wait till this moment. He's kind of using this as an excuse to, start a raid, even when saying, I don't really need an excuse, but I'll take the excuse, I guess. I guess that's a fair way of looking at it. What are you doing? Let go of me. And I'm guessing he dies. What does that say? Whoa! Where am I? Can't move. And so we start to see he starts having like hallucinations. Or maybe it's not. I still don't know. You again. Starts coming toward him. Get away from me. Get away from me. And then he gets snapped out of it. Pluck comes in with the keys. You're from the tavern. Have a nightmare? Wow. He looks back and the thing that was coming after him is gone. Wow, they really worked you over there, didn't they? Well, rest assured, I gave that egghead guard a little something to sleep on. I really want to know what he did, because everything we've seen from Puck, he's just kind of useless. I really want to see what he could have done to the guard. Maybe he, pushed a pot onto him or something ridiculous like that. Wow, everywhere I look, you're covered in wounds. Told you should have listened to my advice. What do you come here for? Repay a debt. We elves have a strong sense of duty. Let's see. Don't touch me. Don't you ever touch me. Guts being all gutsy. The hell? I ain't gonna do anything bad, do you? Look at yourself. You're in no position to give me that kind of attitude. Now be quiet and let me handle it. Guts is still saying stop. But then Puck does his thing and starts healing him. The elves got all sorts of powers. We can heal wounds and sense people's emotions. We can even make people happy. Or at least that's what our troop leader said before he got his head cut off by bandits. Hey, what's your name? Guts. And he's literally sitting on him now. I don't know. Oh, I guess he's healing him, huh? Why'd you come into this town anyhow? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Then he notices the crest on his. The thing on your neck, it looks like a crest or something. Kind of pushes him off. What'd I do this time? Brand. It's the brand. And I can't tell what kind of expression. That like a half smile. He looks kind of crazed. The brand? What's that? He looks. The Puck gets all like excited. Why? How'd it happen? Who did it to you? Huh? You talk too much. You know that. You'll find out soon enough. Pretty soon he'll come here to kill me, as well as burn this whole town to the ground. Oh, does that mean it's those guys from Coca Castle? You mean you're planning to drag this town people into all this? I don't care. If I want to, all I want to do is find that bastard and kill him. I don't care about anything. Anyone who dies because they get caught up in someone else's fight is a small fry. Doesn't have the strength to survive in the first place. And I find it interesting when Guts starts lying like this, because I'm pretty sure that's a lie. I'm pretty sure he's not telling. He's saying he doesn't care. When he's saying he doesn't care about the town, pretty sure he's not being honest. And he's putting on this facade, even though he's suffering. He's not letting it look like he's suffering. And Puck can feel his suffering, if that makes sense. If someone can't live their life as the way they please, they might as well die. Is it rage? It's not just that. It's rage, sadness, and fear. It's all mixed together, so dark. There's something even deeper than that. In that case, what about when you saved me? And Guts just kind of starts laughing. What the freak is that? Idiot, who do you think you are? Why would anyone save you? You think I'd risk my life for a little bug? What do you think you're doing, you little... And then Puck just... Damn, what was that all about? Like he doesn't know. This scene is so bizarre to me. Is he tearing his own wound open? Trying to kind of make amends? Because I'm guessing this is one of the wounds that the guard inflicted on him. Is he trying to tear the wound open, acting like he doesn't deserve to be? He notices how Puck helped him, notices how his actions have pushed him away and betrayed that help. And he doesn't feel deserving of it, is what I assume is happening there. But I don't know. I don't know what the message the author is trying to get across. I've been waiting for you. Yeah, so then his crest starts bleeding. And he can tell the demon guy is here. Carnage. Carnage and more carnage. Crazy stuff. Very sad, very gross. That's not human. Burn everything to the ground. And then there's Guts. And then there's Guts. Here, is he using the townspeople as a shield? What, under the corpses? Or was he hiding in the corpses? I really can't tell. And then Guts starts shooting up all the Coca guards. What the hell kind of crossbow is that? And then Guts pulls out his sword and just cuts the horse's head off, as well as the guard. It's crazy. He's so strong. And then we get the boss man. Boss man. You're the Black Swordsman, one who's been hunting us past. I don't know what you hope to accomplish, but to think that a mere mortal can oppose us, it's pure folly. And Guts starts shooting him. Starts shooting him in the face. That's a crazy scene. Just the arrow through the eye. And just unfazed, doesn't even blink. He loads him up some more. It's got to be a strong crossbow, because when he shoots him, it sends him flying. That thing's got to have some crazy kick to it. Another thing I can't tell with his mechanical hand is, does he have full motor control over his fingers? I can't tell if he, like, puts it on his hand and it, like, locks in place, or if he can actually grab things with his hand. I don't know. Smacked by a snake tail. Guts. It gets beat up so often. It's futile, no matter how many bolts you shoot at me. A mere human like you can't possibly kill me. What a creepy guy. This is a creepy snake dude. Or is it a lizard? Snakes don't have hands and feet. He's like a king cobra lizard. Lizard man. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you alive, boy. It's a monster. And is this the Coca guards? This is like the Coca castle men running away now? Because that's crazy if they didn't know he's a monster. You know what I mean? He's coming. Come on, Guts, look up. He doesn't look up. He's still suffering from that first hit. He gets hit one time. Just can't do anything. Which just lets him come in and hit him again. A lot of these guys that Guts beats, it is purely because they just underestimate him. Smacks him again into the wall, and this guy just gets absolutely knocked around. Oh, still breathing, are we? Most humans would have had their organs crushed by the first blow, and be quite dead by now. But it all ends here. Smashes him, and it definitely does not end here. Weak. How pathetic humans are. But you humans are nothing more than food. Nothing but morsels to fill our stomachs. Food should learn to act like food and... Boom. Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Got a cannon fist. That's pretty sick. That's pretty crazy. I want to know, does his weapon have, like, a special material that'll blow stuff up that's demonic, like silver or something. I don't know if there's anything like that in this series. It's like a specific type of metal that hurts these demons. The monster guy just gets cut in half and is still alive because of course it is. Guts. And Guts stands up and is all gutsy, you know. Becomes freaking crazy. It's still alive. Don't die on me yet. Ah, please. It's so crazy how these things, like, will act so wild. They'll act so evil. So evil. And then beg for their lives right afterward. Will act so superior. Act like who they're killing has no rights at all. And then beg for their lives afterwards. It's kind of silly to me. Not silly as in I'm criticizing the story. Silly on their part. Must be rough to be unkillable and all. Like you said, humans are weak. We die easily. But no matter how weak we are, even if we're being chopped to bits or stabbed to death, we still want to live. Which is so juxtaposed to what he was saying earlier. Like, if you don't have the strength to do what you want, then you might as well die. There's so much to unpackage with a character like Guts. Because a lot of what he says, I assume, is like opposite of what he says or what he means. He talks to Puck like, oh yeah, I don't care if this town dies. I don't care if this town dies. And then when he's killing this thing, he's like, how dare you kill people? He's so backwards. And I need to know more about this guy. It's so crazy. I'm going to give you a little taste of what it's like. Yeah. Who are you? That mark, it's the brand of a sacrifice. You are the God Hand. Where are the 5 members of the God Hand? He shoots him again. I don't know where they are. It's not for apostles such as I to know. I'm telling you the truth. Take your time and savor it. Your body slowly burns to ashes. Then he burns the snake man. Oh, wait, please, I don't want to die. Wait, help me. Dude, Guts is terrifying. Guts is a terrifying dude. Berserk. Whoa, name drop. Drop is crazy. Crazy stuff. That's the end of first chapter. Okay. Cool. Well, we don't really have anybody online right now. I'm going to post this to YouTube, the whole VOD and everything. But, yeah. Leave a comment if you watch this. I find Guts to be such an interesting character. Again, he contradicts himself, it feels like, so often. He'll say things along the lines of, I don't care if this town dies. I really don't care. You know, as long as I kill this guy, I don't care what happens. And then he'll say something else like, no matter how weak we are, we want to live. And then later on, you see characters who he wants to connect to, wants to help, but he keeps pushing this idea that he doesn't care. Keeps pushing this idea that if you aren't strong enough, you should die. But this, I think, is more in line to what he actually believes. Which is really interesting if he's more honest to the monsters than he is to the actual people around him. I almost said the humans around him, but Puck's not a human. The actual people around him who have emotions and have morals. He pushes them away, but then when he confronts a monster, he's like, yeah, no, and actually tells them how he feels. Very interesting stuff. Guts is such an interesting character and makes such interesting decisions. His dialogue is all over the place, and I don't know what to think of him or his actions. Obviously, he doesn't mean to cause the suffering he does, but at the same time, he does. He does, and then he regrets it. And it's like he has two personalities. He causes suffering and then hates the suffering that he causes. That's so interesting. Anyway, if anybody joined, if anybody was on here, thanks for watching. Had a fun. I'm gonna do chapter 2 some other time, and we'll just keep reading through first 3 volumes until we get to where I'm caught up to, which is first 3 volumes that are in the thing. These are the ones I read. So up until where this ends, which is this whole scene right here, where he's about to get attacked by this guy. And that's where that ends. Ends on a cliffhanger. So I'm excited to see what happens next in there. But yeah, I will continue reading. Well, no. I'll continue reading the first 3 volumes on stream. We'll probably just do one chapter at a time. And then, yeah, we'll continue on from there. Thanks for watching, guys. I had a good time. I'll see you later.